We will not force you to subscribe, but we will ask politely and ever gently to tap the like button. And if you do subscribe, welcome, and leave a greeting in the comments and we shall reply. Then click the notification button to never miss our videos, and like this video to help us make more content you love about our amazing continent. Let's dive in. So if Wakanda was real, it would be nowhere similar to what is depicted in the MCU. It would be situated in East Africa between Uganda, Ethiopia and Kenya, making it a landlocked country without a coast, but only a lake and maybe a few mountains. This would mean the area would have an arid climate. Because the location is close to Kenya and Ethiopia, it will share linguistic and cultural similarities with its neighbors, making Swahili the official language, though Turkana or Oromo would be secondary languages. The shilling would most likely be the currency used, and it will be a democratic nation, electing presidents after the dedicated terms. The population of the country would range between 11 to 14 million people, and it would be one of the smallest nations on the continent. The country's flag would most likely follow the Pan-African colors, but like other African nations would have a national symbol added to the flag, like maybe Vibranium. Realistically, Wakanda would have a different name, something related to a geography of the area or possibly a name given by colonizers. The history of Wakanda would be similar to that of other African countries. There would have been traces of people living there long before the Egyptian empires. Their first contact with Europeans would have happened, meeting the Portuguese, but since there are no ports, the Portuguese may have left the settlement much earlier than anticipated. Eventually, Wakanda would have experienced colonization by the English, which could have resulted in a name change to maybe British Wakanda. The game changer, though, would be the discovery of Vibranium, which we'll come back to in a little bit. Wakanda, though, would not have been a victim of the Atlantic slave trade, as its location would have been too far from the ports for transportation of slaves. Eventually, like other nations, Wakanda would seek independence during the decolonization era. Coming back to the Vibranium issue, this would have been a very important aspect of Wakandan history. If the element did have half of what the MCU counterpart does, the colonizing nation would be extremely wealthy from harvesting this element. This would have made it extremely difficult for the colonizing nation to recognize the attempted sovereignty and independence of Wakanda. This would have caused a deadly war between the two nations prior to the eventual independence of Wakanda. Even after independence, the colonizing nation would still attempt to be close allies with Wakanda. If Wakanda did not manage this profit from the exportation of Vibranium, it could face the paradox of plenty, a phenomenon that plagues nations like DRC. The paradox of plenty is a situation in which a resource-rich country remains unstable and poorer than most of the other countries on Earth, due to so much emphasis based on one natural resource, causing an inequality in distribution and a negligence of other forms of exports. So what would Wakanda be like today? It is completely dependent on the important pieces in the important places. Politically, it could have undergone countless military coups or suffered from corrupt presidents overstaying their welcome in their positions. In contrast, it could have been a stable nation with constant budding potential. The Vibranium would make the nation a relevant nation, with America aiming to keep close ties to the nation. It would have been one of the first African countries China would aim to have diplomatic ties with. However, would Wakanda denounce Taiwan as an independent nation? If the leaders of Wakanda were of integrity, the nation will use its profit from trade to turn the nation into a must-visit destination, like an African version of Dubai. It would have a significant relationship with Kenya, as it would want to use Kenyan ports for exports and imports. Titanium would be another natural element exported, in addition to the importance of the country, as titanium is used in manufacturing many objects we use today. Due to its location, it would have some wildlife, adding tourism to its industries. The national animal would not be the Black Panther though, as they are very rare in Africa. It would most likely be the leopard. So if Wakanda was real, which country do you think it would be similar to? Would it have a history of coups, or would it be one of the most stable African countries? There is the other version of this video on what if the MCU version of Wakanda was real. Don't hesitate to check that out by clicking here. Subscribe if you love this kind of content about Africa. Till then, brothers and sisters, stay safe.